Hello and welcome back to Star Trek Resurgence, and I'm wholeheartedly assuming this is going to be the final episode, so I gotta say thank you very much to those of you that have stayed with me throughout this entire journey. I have absolutely had a wonderful time, and I hope you have as well. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna start here, and hopefully we'll see a positive conclusion to the events of the Takon skirmishes and all that wonderful stuff. I'll stop talking.
I saw what you did. The sacrifice you made.
Radiation levels are spiking.
It's coming from the Cartabula. He must have damaged it. Didn't get it out before it fractured.
Our work here is done. Let's get out of here. 3 to beam back to the Resolute.
We can't lock on. Our transporters won't cut through the interference.
We can't stay here.
We're not getting away in that thing.
There. Maybe I can use this to get us out of here. I don't know if it can get us back to the Resolute, but we have to get away from here. Everybody on!
Radiation's lower here. It's still too high for us to stay on this ship.
This is good, but we can do better.
And soon, I hope.
We gotta get all the way to the Resolute.
That thing is down, but not out. We'll handle the stolen Federation ships, but you need to get a crippling shot on the Aphelion.
A direct hit to its bridge will bring it down.
I can take us real close, Captain. Skim the hull of that thing where it can't get a clear shot at us.
Or
I can weave us through the battle. And hope we don't get caught in the crossfire.
I don't want to get too close to that thing.
take us along the Aphelion's hull. Get us to the bridge as fast as you can.
Aye, Captain. We're almost in position for a shot at the bridge.
Photon torpedoes armed and ready.
Break off this attack, or I will be forced to eradicate you.
The Aphelion is still filling with lethal amounts of radiation, but it seems to be contained within the ship, for now at least.
They have comrades on that ship, both living and waiting to be reborn. We're going to die in here if I don't care. We will never submit to your Federation. We are taking our rightful place as rulers over this galaxy.
Radiation poisoning is a terrible way to go, but it doesn't have to be that way. We can render aid to your crew.
No, we've crossed the eons to get here. I won't stop now. Fire salvo!
Now the radiation is rising here, too.
Targeting the Resolute.
I can't let you do that.
Get on. Damn it. I can't hold on to it. I have to make manual adjustments to enhance the signal pattern. From here.
What do you mean?
I'm not gonna make it out.
No way. We're all leaving together. We've been through too much to split up now. We don't leave people behind. Got it?
I'm really sorry, Nilly. I'm not gonna be able to go with you. But I have to get you back. Please.
If you send them, we'll be stuck here. Give in to me, and I will save us, not them.
Stop it.
What's happening?
It's an internal struggle, and he's losing.
Not like this.
It's the Takan. In my head. It's trying to keep me from sending you back.
There has to be a way for you to...
There isn't.
The time is now.
That won't work. I told you, this body is mine now. No!
Look out for each other.
The away team has beamed back.
We're in position and ready to fire, Captain.
Target their bridge.
Please, we target the ship. Pummel it to space dust, like we did to...
Fire.
Carter?
Nilly.
I thought you'd want to know we made it. And that you'll always be my family. Even if I don't get to see you again.
Always, Nilly. Family. Forever.
Always.
All decks secure. We have the bioformed on board, fully contained.
The Starfleet ships under Takan control have signaled their surrender. Good work, Captain Rydick. Next time I need some backup, I'll know who to call. I trust you won't have a problem with that.
Just say the word and we'll be there.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Captain, we're being hailed. It's the Aphelion.
On screen.
The radiation. We won't last much longer in here. Please, we surrender. We need your help. Please, people support your ship.
I know what they've done, Captain. But we can't let them die. They're our enemies today, but who knows what they could become.
You already offered help and they turned you down. tried to destroy us. Why reach your hand out to them again?
It's what we do.
This is the fate they've chosen. Leave them where they are.
You can't do that.
We don't have much time. We submit. I don't know what else I can say. Please, we don't want to die.
This is what separates us from them. The fact that we can make a gesture of peace even after all our conflict. Set up containment fields in the docking bay and beam the Takan there. Crew of the Aphelion, shut down all systems. Lower your defenses, and prepare to be transported.
Thank you.
Carter! Hey,
My first order of business will be to help re-establish the Hotari government and resume peace talks, genuine talks, with the Elydians.
And after that?
Who knows? I know I don't want to be queen. There's so much good I could do with just a fraction of your medical technology if I could bring it to my people. But I also want to see what else is out there. Maybe there's even a place for me in Starfleet. It would be hard to stay on Hotari forever. Not with all there is to experience, to learn.
When you're ready, Starfleet will be waiting for you. I'll even put in a good word at the Academy.
Thank you. Perhaps I can serve on one of your ships someday.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
But there are pressing matters we must attend to before any of that. I can't thank you enough for all you've done. I'll see you again.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt here, but I literally just wanted to ask, what was that cutscene between Nili and Carter? What was that? I'm sorry. Was anyone else just flabbergasted by what actually happened right there? Because I'm thinking to myself, what's happening? It was literally 5 seconds. It was literally 5 seconds. Okay, wait a minute. While I'm here, let's just go through some of the decisions I've made already, because it seems like this is indeed the final episode. So let's have a look. Lieutenant Bedrosian was crushed when Jara ignored her advice and opted to rescue and evacuate the surviving Takan aboard the Aphelion. Are you joking? I mean, literally. That is what Starfleet does, no? Starfleet always does that, unless the enemy cannot be reasoned with for any reason whatsoever. And I'm talking about Borg or Klingons if they, don't surrender, because let's face it, they like to die in battle and all that stuff. And I'm talking about things like that where they just cannot be reasoned with. But these Takan were literally asking, pleading, begging for assistance. How can we say no and murder them like that? I mean, come on. No, I don't think so. Anyway, the First Officer Westbrook was happy and relieved when Jara took his recommendation and chose to rescue and evacuate the surviving Takan aboard the Aphelion, as we thought. Tylos was eternally grateful for Jara's efforts on behalf of the Hotari and will give careful consideration to her invitation to join Starfleet someday. And I think that's what we've actually, that's all we've done so far. Let's actually have a look at Carter here and Nili. Etzela was completely devastated after Carter sacrificed himself so she could live. And she could not agree more. They were family to the end. I thought that was so incredibly emotional. That was really, and then that's the reason why I am so flabbergasted about this entire thing, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, wait, he's alive, he's actually alive, but is that him? That's the question. I guess that's what we've got to find out, and maybe we're going to find out, maybe we're not going to find out. But there was a 5-second cutscene, and it left me very confused.
Starfleet has granted me the privilege of conferring this upon you. Though I'm sure Captain Solano would rather have been the one offering this. You have acted dutifully, and bravely through trying circumstances, I grant you the official rank of Captain. I believe a great many wonders lie ahead for you, Jara Rydick. There appears to be nothing that can stand in your way.
Thank you, Ambassador Spock, for everything.
It is you who stopped the spread of the Tikan. I should be the one giving thanks.
Victory. Peace. These things never come without a cost. For some, it requires putting aside centuries of enmity. For others, it takes facing complicated losses.
Tricorder. How do you say goodbye to someone who has moved on? I thought I knew how to leave the past behind, but I've learned a thing or two.
And for too many, they had to pay the ultimate price. In time, history may forget their sacrifices, but those of us who were there never will. Now, all hands honor the dead. Captain Solano used to say that nothing ever stays the same. Entropy. It's the nature of the universe. As such, the crew of a starship can never stay the same. But while entropy says that order inevitably gives way to chaos, this crew has only grown stronger. More cohesive and coherent. Bound by our shared struggles. And working together, helping each other, we're able to do more than we'd ever imagined. Some of our differences couldn't be resolved. But perhaps that too can change. In time. Engage. Space, the final frontier. As we take our next steps into the unknown, the greatest insights that lie ahead are what we learn about each other. We might even surprise ourselves. And no matter what threats we may come upon, or mysteries we face, we will not be shaken. We are stronger together. We are steadfast in our purpose. We are Resolute.
Okay, there you go. That's it. That is the end. And I am, you know, when I was sitting here, I'm just gonna. Okay, if you don't care about my thoughts or anything like that, then you can obviously tune out now. Maybe there's a cutscene at the end. I don't actually know. But I'm just going to talk while the credits are rolling. Okay, so here's the thing. I love this game. I think this game is absolutely fantastic. I think you should definitely play it. I mean, obviously, if you've watched this whole thing, then maybe you don't want to, but I think in general it's important to experience the story for yourself because it has so many different ways that you can respond to different things. And as you saw at the very end there, Bedrosian is no longer there. Obviously, Ermot is not there because this is what okay, Ermot's not there because obviously he's been converted. But now here's the thing. For me personally, I would have liked to know what happened to the people that are converted. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know what was actually happening with that. I wanted to see if there would be any way for them to revert the conversion, and I was a bit disappointed by that not being touched upon. And that's basically the only complaint I can have, apart from the fact that in my opinion, the stealth sections are unnecessary. I think the stealth sections are fun, but I think that they're a bit too punishing if you're not very good at stealth, which I'm not that good at stealth, but you know, it worked out okay. But generally these insta-kill sort of things, insta-game over sort of things, I'm not a big fan of those. But the thing is, the game is absolutely fantastic. As I've said, like, I personally feel like this is the closest you're gonna get to a game that puts you into the shoes of a Starfleet member. Apart from Star Trek Online, of course. Star Trek Online does have that kind of feel to it, but it's a little bit, I don't know, it does have narrative, obviously, but this is a much more cinematic experience. So I guess you can play either one of them, but this one is just very self-contained. There's no microtransactions, there's no cash shop, there's nothing like that. So it's obviously not an MMORPG. So obviously if you're, you know, annoyed at the cash shop thing in Star Trek Online, then you should just play this instead. But obviously they have different stories and all that stuff. But anyway, the point is, before I just, you know, completely talk your ear off about Star Trek, let's not do that, okay? Even though this is a Star Trek video, but the point is, I would like to have seen whether they found a way to revert the conversion, because I feel like it is just too sad for Carter to be converted, and basically for all the rest to be converted without any hope of, well, recovery. Because, I mean, think about Ermot, you know, think about Ermot, think about Carter, think about all of the rest that were converted. I would have loved to have seen if they found a way to revert that issue. Obviously, Portal 6-3, he died, which I thought was mind-blowing to me, because I thought to myself, surely he's not going to die. He's super powerful, right? I mean, he seems super powerful, but obviously I felt like maybe that was a little bit too, I don't know, maybe that was a bit too convenient, potentially, that he ended up perishing. But obviously that was a very brave thing for him to do, but I would have wholeheartedly assumed that he'd be easily able to fight off, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 people at once, because he's just so incredibly strong, or at least that's what I was led to believe by, you know, him being basically able to drain ships from orbit and stuff and teleport all over the place. You know, these things all add up to basically give me the impression that this guy is super, super strong. But yeah, no, there you go. That's the end. We didn't really get anything else apart from that. If I click on choices right here, it takes us to a QR code and a code that you can actually enter on a website that tells you a little bit more in depth about your choices. And I'm actually going to be taking a look at that in just a moment so that I can tell you right now. Alright, so just to touch upon some of my choices that I made, this basically when you go to choices and you create an account on their website, you get the opportunity to see what you chose, and as well as the other people that also signed up, or you know, generally the analytics from everyone's choices. So basically, I'm just going to go through a couple of them here. 94% of players and me chose to evacuate the surviving Takan from the Aphelion. Chose to make the ultimate sacrifice and have Carter be bioformed aboard the Aphelion. 95% of players and myself decided to do that. Now, I gotta say, is there an alternate option? Is there an alternate option for him to actually survive, or for him to actually not be bioformed? Because I don't know. I don't think so somehow, right? Because I don't know. Maybe another choice actually changes it. But by all means, if you've played the game and you didn't get Carter bioformed, maybe you can let me know about that, because that's a pretty big bugbear for me now. Because I would have much preferred for him to survive the whole thing, because he's one of the main characters. You know, it would have been nice. Anyway, 72% of players and myself chose Commander Westbrook as your new first officer. Okay. 90% of players and myself chose to transport the Tacon crystals onto the Resolute. Only 45% of players and myself chose to save Itasca's life aboard the Zeldi. 72% of players and myself defied Captain Solano's wishes and told Captain Riker about the stolen shield algorithms. 44% of players did not support Captain Solano's decision to not inform Starfleet of the Tacon threat. 62% of players chose to save the Illidians during the rescue mission on the Zeldi. 81% of players chose to side with the Hotari, and by the way, all of this is what I've also done, so I am included with all these percentages. 90% of players were interested in a romantic relationship with Miranda. 62% of players chose Edsalar to go first and escape harm during the hull walk, which is all the way at the beginning, of course. 82% of players defied Captain Solano's orders and reversed the polarity on the hull. And 77% of players followed Lieutenant Bedrosian's advice and raised the shields against the energy wave. So there you go. Huge amounts of different choices right there, and most of the time I went with the majority by the looks of things. Obviously I didn't intend to do that or anything, but that is exactly what happened. Also, you do have another thing here, which is very cool. On the website, there's this other thing that allows you to go through all of the relationships with your friends, with the people that are on the ship, and enemies and so on and so forth. So basically, I have a negative relation. It gives you a huge overview of what you've done with each character, by the way. So there's massive amounts of information here, so I don't have enough time to go all over that, but basically just going to say who I had good relations with and who I didn't. So basically, Solano, Bedrosian, Westbrook is a little bit iffy there. Ermot, and I think that's it. They all didn't really like me that much. And then Carter, we obviously had a really good 19% of players. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what even most of this means, unfortunately. But yeah, what tore her heart out was when you made the greatest sacrifice of all, giving your life so she could live and leaving her emotionally devastated. It will take a long time for her to recover, but she's determined to honor your memory for the rest of her life. I have to Google and see whether there are people that have saved Carter, because this is a big, I don't know, this is a big thing for me. Anyway, as I say, I feel like there should have been some extra stuff going on that gives us an idea whether they cured the people or whether they found some way to transfer the consciousness away or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I want a sequel. I want a sequel straight away. That's my thinking right now. I would wholeheartedly recommend this game to anyone that's a fan of Star Trek. But yeah, I really want a sequel right now. Developers, are you listening? No. Anyway, support the game. Buy the game if you want them to make another one, because obviously, you know, it needs to make money if they're going to make another one, and I think this is one of the best Star Trek games we've gotten in the last 20 years. And then there aren't many. There aren't many, that's for sure. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.